to keep the ball, and they clearly have a guy watching him and putting a hit on him on every play. No gain on the play there, and Everett is 2nd and 10. And we talked a little bit in the open, John, about Everett throwing the ball. I think they're going to have to be able to throw the ball a little bit in order to win this game.
Yeah, St. John's Prep with almost 9 guys up near the line of scrimmage, almost daring him to throw the ball. And that's what he's going to throw. He throws it over the middle. Sullivan with the catch has got a first down at the 41.
Well, that's the guy. That's the favorite target. Big number 82, Danny Sullivan. 8 catches for 278 yards and 5 touchdowns coming into this ball game. This time Matt Nuzzo goes back into the pocket. You're going to see him go back. He's going to take a look, and Dan Sullivan is coming right over the middle, right where they like to throw to him. Matt Nuzzo puts it right on the money. Sure-handed Danny Sullivan makes the catch, gets hit immediately, but not before picking up a first down at the 41.
Nuzzo had to throw it under a lot of duress and threw a high fastball over the head. Nuzzola was open, but he didn't really have time to plant that foot and throw. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 as the pass is incomplete.
Well, that was a 14-yard gain for Danny Sullivan on the previous play, giving Everett a first down, their first down by the air.
So they're down here again, and they've been close several times here in the first half to making the big play. They just haven't connected. Nizzolo goes to the far side. Matarazzo to the near side. Delgado in motion. They give it straight ahead to Frank Nuzzo. It gets to about the 39, maybe the 38.
Frank Nuzzo carrying the ball to Everett.
Well, John, it almost brings back some memories of last year's Super Bowl game against Bridgewater Raynham. Everett forced a punt on both their possessions in the first quarter, moving the ball in the second quarter but getting stopped, going on an 18-play drive in the third quarter and not scoring. But then when it counted in the fourth quarter, 15 plays, 80 yards for the touchdown, and of course, Gennaro Leo's leaping 2-point conversion for the win with 30 seconds left in the game. So let's hope history repeats itself.
Well, 2:48 left here on the scoreboard clock at Marciano Stadium in Brockton. The final game of the season for Everett. Both teams perfect. St. John's Prep 12-0, Everett 11-0. The Prep jumped on top. They haven't done a heck of a lot since. They've only picked up 1 first down since that run by Matt Antonelli got them a touchdown after a short punt. And now Everett has been down a couple of times, but hasn't been able to capitalize. They've been, as we said before, just a half a step or a step away from making some huge plays. And now they've got to come up with a huge play. 3rd down and call it 8 from just inside the 39. Call it the 39-yard line of St. John's Prep. And both these teams have got here by dominating teams, playing excellent defense, special teams, 2 excellent football teams, and it's only fitting that they should be representing Eastern Mass in this Super Bowl championship in Division 1.
Well, John DiBiaso sends him out, and we're going to see into the game for Everett. Receivers, Justin Sullivan is number 7. Nicky Nizzolo is number 21. Danny Sullivan is number 82. Justin Robinson, pardon me, number 7. And coming to this side is Petrantonio with Nizzolo, John.
4 wideouts. Now Robinson comes in motion to the near side. Nizzola looking. Underneath, caught, nice catch by Petrantonio, took it off the grass. He picked that one up off the grass.
What a tremendous diving catch by Petrantonio, who's hurt on the play. Looks like he might have jammed something when he landed, but what a great diving catch down to the 26-yard line, a 13-yard gain, and a first down for Everett. Matt Nuzzo put the ball right on the money. Petrantonio with the diving catch, first down Everett.
So Everett with the football now, move the chains, 2:43 left as they look over Ross Petrantonio, and a great catch, took it off I was going to say the grass, but the synthetic turf.
It's close enough. Here's Matt Nuzzo. He's going back to pass. You see Robinson's in the pattern, but he leads Petrantonio, and Petrantonio makes a tremendous catch, keeping his arms under the ball. Looks like he may have jammed his arm as he hit the turf. Doesn't appear to be hurt that badly, and we certainly hope he isn't, because Everett's also already lost Jason Nascimento for the game, and he's a defensive back.
Not to mention Petrantonio is also a defensive back as well. So it would really be devastating for Everett if they could lose 2 of their starting corners. Let's hope the young man's going to be okay. Let's hope it was just the wind knocked out of him when he came down and caught the football and came down on top of the football. Let's hope that's all it is. 2:43 left to play on the clock here in the first half. Everett has played them virtually dead heat. Everett has actually had the upper hand a little bit since the first run by Antonelli. 1 pass play on a big 3rd and long. Got the Prep a first down. Other than that, it's been 3 and out for the Prep. And the turnover has given Everett, the fumble recovery by George Payon has given Everett an opportunity. And now the big catch by Petrantonio, and he looks like he's going to be okay.
Well, that's a good sign. And again, it didn't
is.
appear he was hurt that badly. Maybe you were right, John. Maybe it was just the wind knocked out of him. But just a great diving catch to keep this drive going. And Everett is down now with their deepest penetration of the game. And Paul Healy is down on the sidelines, and he's going to try to get a feel for what happened to Ross Petrantonio and if he's going to be okay.
2 things quickly. It looks like Jason Nascimento has an ACL injury. That's going to mean a lot of rehab. Second thing, Everett's offensive line has switched to tighter splits because St. John's was busting through the gaps. Tighter splits will help power football for Everett.
They give us to Lamb, the fullback.
Lamb, the ball carrier.
And he gets inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line for a pickup of 3.
Well, plenty of time left here, John, as the clock is at 2:13 and counting. Everett's got plenty of time. The ideal end here is to get something in the end zone and not leave St. John's Prep any time of their own.
Well, I'm sure if it comes down to it, they'd also give Silvera a shot to get him on the board and get within 7-3 if things bog down. Nuzzo rolling to his right, looking to throw. Dumps it off. Almost picked off.
Oh, boy.
That was almost picked off. And if he gets it to Frank Nuzzo, it could have been a touchdown. He was about a half a foot away from Frank Nuzzo for a completion.
That's number 53, Michael Pitt, who's been all over the field for the Prep, but a little more air under this ball. We see Matt Nuzzo rolls out to the right. He has his brother Frank, just throws it a little too hard, not high enough. And Michael Pitt.
And here's Frank right behind.
And there's no other
Wide
white. Oh,
open.
there's a white shirt, but it certainly would have been a first down. And now Everett is faced with 3rd and 7 from the 23-yard line as Matt Nuzzo takes the play in from John DiBiaso.
It would be, looking at Silvera, would be a 40-yard kick from here. That would be very tough. So I think they got to at least get some yardage here. They give it to Matarazzo. Tries to cut it up inside and gets hit as he gets near the 20-yard line.
Boy, it certainly looked like Matarazzo had some room around the corner there, John. It's unfortunate he just couldn't get outside. He does pick up 3, bringing up 4th and 4 from the 20-yard line.
But here's a huge play in the first half.
Silvera is coming on the field, by the way. Here's the replay. You're going to see Mike Matarazzo coming to the right. There's a jam up on the inside. Looks like he could have got outside because he had Paul Arsenault out there blocking. But they're going to send Andre Silvera out here to attempt what will be a 37-yard field goal.
Yeah, almost 38. They're going to put it down just about the 28-yard line. So Petrantonio is the holder.
Oh, they drew him off sides.
If they drew him offside, they get a first down. They lined up for a field goal, and St. John's Prep came busting through. Let's see what the call. Let's make sure. It is going to be offside the Prep, and it's a first down, Everett.
Little too anxious there to try to get in and block that field goal. That's going to move it down to the 15. Huge break for Everett. Is under a minute to go, 56 seconds. They sent out Silvera, and Silvera that's about the edge of his range. He can hit it from 37, 38 yards. Doesn't have to worry about it just yet because they drew St. John's. More than one player on the Prep jumped off sides there.
Anybody who thinks that coaching doesn't have anything to do with these games had to watch that play from the sidelines. Great call by the bench. Double wideouts, one to each side as they come in motion to the near side. Nuzzo looking, throwing it in the corner, looking for Petrantonio. No catch. He had it and couldn't hold on. That would have been a great catch if he holds on to that. I think he thought he caught it. Nuzzo threw it perfectly where the only one that could catch it was Petrantonio. And it looked like he did, but he came down and hit the turf.
Here's the replay. And I think Petrantonio does catch it, but I'm not so sure he had control as he hit the ground. Nice pass there. You'll see on the coverage, dive and catch, and the ball was just not possessed. Good call by the back judge, Ryan Flynn.
2nd and 10. Nuzzo again looking. Over the middle. Caught!
That one's caught.
Touchdown by Sullivan!
Very well devised play. We've seen that before. Danny Sullivan, that's his 10th catch of the season, and 6 of them have gone for touchdowns. None bigger than that one as it gets Everett back to within a point.
And Nuzzo drilled that one right inside the defender. That was a good Nolan Ryan fastball. It got inside. He hit him right on the 8 and the 2 as he went down and made the catch. And Silvera will try and tie it up. With 26 ticks left, he drills it through, and we're tied at 7.
John, you're showing your age. You're supposed to say a Pedro Martinez fastball. Nolan Ryan's been retired for 15 years.
Well, I'm a little bit older than that.
Here's the replay, Matt Nuzzo. Play action. Adam Arsenault blocking. As John says, Nuzzo drills the ball over the middle. Nick Borsetti ran right by Dan Sullivan, one of the prep defenders. Great concentration by Danny Sullivan. Everett is pulled even with 26 seconds to go in the half.
So the momentum, if they don't run this kick back, going
this
into
is
the
the
locker
key.
room
I'll
is
tell you
going to
what,
be Everett's.
there's no way that I'm letting number 18 on the prep handle this ball with this little time left in the game.
Well, I would think that Everett might go that little pooch kick that they did against
the Peabody Pooch.
The Peabody Pooch.
Jim O'Leary was at that game, by the way, John, so he was well aware of how effective that was.
The way they're lining up, Paul, they get nobody to field a little pooch kick.
I'd be trying to land this one about the 25-yard line on the ground and let them take a chance on offense, but not let Matt Antonelli touch this football.
And if they can get out of here 7-7, Everett's going to take a lot of momentum into the locker room. Now they move, the prep expecting it, they move up, and there's that little kick. And they're going to field it at the 30-yard line.
31.
And they almost broke it.
Well, you give them field position. They're out over the 45-yard line. We'll call it the 46. There's 23 seconds left in the half, and they'll have time for probably a handful of plays here, but I still don't want Antonelli handling that football.
No, but Zardes was a step away from breaking that too. So at the 46, they can now throw it downfield because it would be the same as a punt if it is picked off.
Well, Everett's going to be loose on defense. You see on the back line, Justin Robinson, Ross Petrantonio, and Taylor Pierre. They're the last line of defense.
Yeah,
they'll be told, don't let anyone get behind you.
One wide out to the far side. McCarthy dropping back.
Oh, what a hold there. There it is. The flag is down.
Yeah, no question. They took him to the ground. They took Sullivan down.
71, Blake
Truckee
with a takedown.
That was a little WWF there in the backfield. He did everything but pick him up and slam him to the mat. But it was a little late coming, but they finally get it down.
Good job by the umpire there, though. Jeff January saw that one all the way. That was an easy one. 10 yards on for holding on St. John's. That'll move the ball back to about their own 35-yard line.
So they also used 10 seconds off the clock, so there's now 16 seconds
Here's
left.
the replay. I don't know if we're going to see this. Sullivan, watch number 71 here. Sullivan gets blocked low, but 71 is just bringing him down with the takedown. That's 2 points in wrestling, but 10 yards in football.
And you know what? He didn't need it because he had already been
2
blocked.
points, Danny Ventura, you're the wrestling guru.
Is
that a 2-point takedown? A 2-pointer.
Wideouts right and left as McCarthy has split backfield behind him, looking to throw, steps up, has time, throws it over the middle, almost picked off.
Oh, Ross.
Ross Petrantonio almost came up with another great catch. He's been around the football all night on both sides. 9 seconds left, and they'll give it one more shot.
Here's
as
the
we see
replay. McCarthy has all day to throw, but if you'll see the end result of the play, Ross Petrantonio is the only one who has a shot at this, and Ross Petrantonio comes into your screen, hits him right on the shoulder pads. Oh, would he like another shot at that one?
Double wideouts again with I formation. McCarthy, they're going to jump off the screen and hit, nailed. A big hit. Now we're going to get flags all over the place.
Wow.
I don't think you want to be celebrating at that moment.
Well, it's going to be the last play of the half.
Personal foul against Everett, and the Prep is going to get another play. They lost back to the 25.
Frank Nuzzo with a great hit on Van Noten. Unfortunately, there's a little extracurricular. They set up the screen pass. Frank Nuzzo reads it all the way. Van Noten is going to get drilled by Frank Nuzzo back at his own 25-yard line. Subsequent to that, the half is over.
Yeah, because they run the clock as soon as they set the ball in, and it runs the clock out. So with that big hit, I think Coach O'Leary is wondering why he didn't get another play. But with that big hit by Frank Nuzzo, we wind up 7-7. The momentum is Everett's, and we're going to go to Paul down on the field.
Paul Healy, are you down there?
First, the bad news. Everett was robbed as Ross Pietrantonio clearly caught that ball in the corner of the end zone. Now the good news, it just doesn't matter thanks to Nuzzo and Danny Sullivan. And remember, good teams overcome bad calls, bad teams whine about them.
That's the end of the half, and I'll tell you, if it took some time for these teams to have some contempt for each other, it developed on that play with Frank Nuzzo and Steve Van Noten.
There's surely going to be some talk about that hit, a little extracurricular at the end of the game, and it's only fitting it now comes down to a 22-minute game with deadlocked 7-7 at halftime. 22 minutes, maybe, unless we go to overtime, will decide who wins the Super Bowl. 7-7, St. John's Prep and Everett at halftime. Welcome back as we're set to start the second half. John Hoffman along with Paul Harlan from Marciano Stadium in Brockton. We have 22 minutes at least left to play. We're deadlocked at 7. And Paul, surprisingly enough, by the way, they're going to tack on the penalty at the end of the game. Everyone was worried that Frank Nuzzo might have been thrown out of the game. He was not. But they're going to tack on the 15-yard penalty, carry it over to the second half. So Everett will have a disadvantage. They'd be kicking off from the 25. But they carried that momentum in the locker room, and as it turned out, Paul, they kind of led in stats through that
well,
first
Everett,
half.
John, 91 yards of offense to 50 for St. John's, and of course St. John's had 39 on the very first play from scrimmage. So minus the first play from scrimmage, St. John's was held to 11 yards. Great job by the Everett defense. Everett, not much on the ground, 22 carries for 49 yards. Through the year, Matt Nuzzo, 3 for 10 for 42 yards. But the big one was the 14-yard touchdown pass to Danny Sullivan, which brought Everett even. And Everett is going to kick off to start this second half, and St. John's should be looking at good field position.
Well, of course, the big play in that drive for the touchdown was the big catch by Pietrantonio, who got hurt on the play but made the big catch to get the first down. And then Sullivan with the drill. Nuzzo drilled it in to Matt Nuzzo, to Danny Sullivan to get the touchdown. Silvera's extra point tied it, and Everett had the momentum coming in. Now Silvera will kick it off, and it's going to driven back inside the 35. And they're going to get out to the 40-yard line. So Everett doesn't come out too bad off, considering the 15-yard penalty, but Everett will have good, St. John's Prep will have good field position to start a drive at their own 40-yard line. Well, they really haven't. They had one first down after the Matt Antonelli run. They had one first down, a 14-yard pass play on third down. Other than that, they did absolutely nothing in that first half, and they got to be talking to themselves going into the locker room. Let's see which team makes the adjustments in the second half. And they bang it over the right side, and Van Noten picks up about 6.
Well, good gainer there for St. John's is Steve Van Noten right up the middle for 6 yards. It brings up 2nd down and 4. Leading ball carrier in the first half was Matt Antonelli, 37 yards all on one play. 39 on one play. He actually lost 2 yards on the fumble.
This is Zadis. Bangs it ahead into Everett territory.
Well, you can see St. John's is going to try to just line up and come at Everett. I'm sure they challenge their offensive linemen. One stat we should point out, John, Everett held the ball for more than 15 minutes of that first half. St. John's held 6 minutes and 52 seconds, so the Everett offense was clearly controlling the line of scrimmage and staying on the field.
1st and 10 from, call it the 48-yard line. And split backfield with a wing to the far side. And they're just running it straight ahead. And this is Van Note, as they look like they're just going to play power football and try to run it down Everett's throat.
Now 3 plays this half for St. John's, 6 yards on all 3 plays. They're clearly, their adjustment, John, is they're trying to go right up the middle, and Everett's going to take a timeout and talk about this as Ross Petrantonio asks for a 30-second timeout.
Milo is coming out to talk to the troops, Coach Milo. And Prep fans coming alive a little bit as
here's the replay, John. You're going to look coming right up the middle is number 27. As Adam Arsenault went for the play fake, the first guy through there, he hit Goff. Van Note with a nice run right up the middle.
You look at, as usual, Paul, a great following by the Everett fans. The stands are filled with Everett jerseys and hats, and everybody here to watch the Crimson Tide. Good crowd on the other side as well. So what you'd expect for a game like this. And as you mentioned a lot earlier, maybe a little bit taken away by the Pats and the Bills playing, Bledsoe coming back. But not much. This is a very good crowd coming out here to Brockton and watch the 2 best teams in the state put on an excellent show in the first half. And we expect the same thing in the second half as well.
Well, St. John's is faced with 2nd down and 4, a short 4 from the Everett 42-yard line.
They'll go I formation with the wing to the far side. They send motion, and they run straight ahead. That's Van Note getting inside the 35.
That's Jonathan Goff, John,
That's
number
Goff.
17, only his
Goff,
second
17,
carry
not
of the
27.
game. And he's going to go down to the Everett 33-yard line. Gain of 9, and the Prep are just lining up and running it at Everett here to start the second half.
The Everett's got to stop him on 1st down. They can't be giving him these 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4. They got to put him in a situation where it's going to be 2nd, 3rd, and long, like they did against Brockton. And nice tackle by Justin Robinson, or that might have been a long run.
I think it was Ross Petrantonio, John, number 3, who came flying into the screen. And you're right, John. Goff looked to have some room around the left side. He ends up with a gain of 4, setting up 2nd and 6. But had Petrantonio not taken him down, there was nothing but synthetic turf in front of him.
So the Prep opening drive of the second half, the Prep trying to regain the lead they have. Everett tied it with under 20 seconds left in the first half. Now they stand him up for a short gain here.
John, you mentioned an unbelievable stat is the Prep, I believe, has had 8 second half first drives. The first drive of the second half 8 times have gone down, so I'm sure it's an emotional thing for them. They feel that they're not going to be stopped, so if Everett could come up with a stop here, it would be a big momentum switcher for them.
3rd down and 4 from the 27-yard line. Nothing fancy here. Prep is just saying, here we come, stop us. They send the slot to the near side this time as they go in motion with Antonelli. Now the keep by McCarthy, cuts it up inside, runs into Mazzio at the 25. It's going to be 4th down and a long 2.
Well, McCarthy saw something there, John. He kept the ball, and as you said, number 86, Eric Mazzeo, right there with the tackle. The ball is sitting right on the 25-yard line, a gain of 2. Here's the replay. McCarthy, number 12, coming right at you. He cuts it back. Nice move there, but Mazzeo is there right to meet him. Petrantonio flies by him. Help comes along, and it's 4th and 2.
Big play here in the football game. Both stands coming alive. They go power eye in the backfield behind McCarthy. And they dive ahead, and let's see if they got it. It looks like they have. The Prep thinks they have. I think little airborne. They're going to measure, and I think he may have it.
Yeah, it looks like he got almost 3 on the play. Jonathan Goff right up the middle. 1st down at the 22-yard line.
22-yard line.
Well, they're bending, but the idea is not to break as we look at that defense. There's the leader, Adam Arsenal, Justin Sullivan in your screen.
They have to come up with a big defensive play here. Antonelli goes in motion. They run it straight ahead for not much, maybe a yard.
And Van Note, McCarthy, took a wicked hit from Mazzio after he got rid of the ball.
So it'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 21-yard line.
Here's the replay. They're going to give it right ahead to Van Note. Faked it to Antonelli.
They split the backfield with the wing to the near side. Bouncing ahead and being stood up and pushed back. I think that was Frank Nuzzo with the hit.
Frank Nuzzo leading the defensive side.
Well, Van Note gets inside the 20, but not much more. Looks like the line of scrimmage is going to be about the 19-yard line.
3rd and 7.
Yep.
3rd and 7.
They'll have used up over 5 minutes of this third period when they snap the football. Opening drive of the second half, 7-7, the Prep and Everett Division I Super Bowl championship. They send the wing to the far side as they split behind McCarthy. McCarthy looking to throw over the middle. Knocked down, a great defensive play by Frank Nuzzo. He was open. Frank Nuzzo just got a hand on it, knocked it down, or that would have been 6. What a play by Frank Nuzzo.
Well, we're going to take a look at the replay. A nice play by Frank Nuzzo. We'll see if St. John's is going to try a field goal here, John. I think they are. Here's McCarthy, fakes to Van Note. Nuzzo with great coverage there. Nuzzo's going to commit to your screen and just get his left hand on it right in front of Jonathan Goff. 4th and 7 from the 19-yard line, and they are going. No field goal attempt, they're going.
Big play here, and the Everett stands are up on their feet and screaming. McCarthy looking to throw, rolling. Has time over the middle. It's caught. Caught in traffic, and he battled extra yardage to try and get a first down. It's going to be close. It's going to be inside the 10. I'm sorry. It's going to be first down by quite a bit. I was looking across the field. I'm looking across the field the wrong way. They made the first down easily. It's going to be 1st and goal.
Here's the replay. Here's McCarthy. A lot of time to throw and a hell of a catch in traffic there by the receiver.
And he gets the extra yards besides.
9.
It's
William McGrath.
So 1st and goal. And that's Goff getting inside the 5 to the 3.
Carries inside the 5. Second and goal for the Prep from the other 4-yard line.
Jonathan Goff carries inside. Here's the replay. Straight ahead. He's going to get inside the 5 to the 4. Everett looking for the turnover here.
Power eye in the backfield.
Antonelli is at quarterback. Oh!
Hit in the backfield and drilled.
Adam
Arsenal and Frank Nuzzo.
Oh!
Sherko. A whole bunch of red shirts.
Oh, the man
Nailed
from
him.
Adam. Wow, Antonelli comes in at quarterback. He hands it to Jonathan Goff, and over the top comes Adam Arsenal, flying
What
through
a
the air
hit.
with the greatest of ease.
3rd and goal from the 5, and what you got to worry about here is McCarthy maybe with a keep rolling something going wide.
Or Antonelli at quarterback with an option, John.
Exactly, yes.
They ran him a lot at quarterback against Severian. Here he is, number 18. He's their best player.
Power eye. They're not going to go anywhere. They're going to lose yardage again. And be careful piling on. You don't want a penalty, Justin Robinson. So I think you might see a field goal attempt here, Paul.
Yep, Antonelli is going to lose a couple of yards back to the 7. It's going to be 4th and goal. It would be about a 24-yard field goal as the ball's, you can see, down on the 7-yard line.
That's a big defensive stand by Everett.
Timeout is on the field.
Prep wants to talk about it. That's an outstanding effort. And as we mentioned coming in, Paul, these teams have been offensively, defensively, special teams have been exceptional. No reason for them to quit now. Some big plays, Adam Arsenault, and they made another big play. Frank Nuzzo in on both plays here at the goal line, and they push them back. And I'm really surprised that Everett tried to go straight ahead. I thought they might try to go wide with Antonelli, maybe a roll, some kind of roll with maybe an option to throw the ball, but they try to power it in.
I think they missed the handoff, John. Looked
Yeah.
like Antonelli was trying to hand that ball to someone, and the guy wasn't there.
But still, they were going up the middle, and you don't really make a living going straight ahead against Everett, because they do, as you mentioned, they do bend a little bit, but they don't break very often. And now with 3:27, they used almost 8 minutes off the clock here in the third period. This game has really shrunk. And now, let's see what the Prep does. They've been talking about it on the sidelines. I don't know if the kicker is out there or not. The kicker, I think, would be Grasso. I think the Prep is saying our defense can shut you down.
4th and goal from the
We're gonna
7.
go.
They break the huddle.
They're going to go.
McCarthy is back in at quarterback.
Antonelli is flanked out to the far side. Now they send wideouts every place. One running back behind McCarthy as they're going to look to throw the football in. Dropping back. Picked off! Nuzzo down the sidelines. He's gone!
Yes.
Frank Nuzzo is gone for a touchdown!
97 yards!
Talk about coming up with big plays.
Well, that was the 16th play of the Everett scoring drive.
Yes, it certainly was.
3:11 to go in the half.
They took almost 8 minutes off the clock, the Prep did, and up steps Frank Nuzzo and runs right in front of the Everett crowd and the Everett bench and takes it 97 yards for a touchdown. And just like that, they were probably saying if we don't make it, we can shut him down and get good field position, but I don't think that's going to happen now.
And this Everett crowd is going wild here at Marciano Stadium.
So Vera will try to make it 14-7 as it became very quiet on the St. John's Prep sideline in the stands. They fake it.
Petrantonio is not going to get in.
I'm really surprised they faked it. And it winds up 13-7.
Well, John, we were surprised. We fully expected to see St. John's come out and attempt a field goal, which would have amounted to a chip shot.
Exactly.
Instead, they try to throw the ball. Here's the replay. McCarthy is going to look. Frank Nuzzo's looking at him all the way. Frank Nuzzo is the only, he's right there, steps in front of Zardes, and he takes it at the 3-yard line. The Everett coaches and players have to get out of his way. They're the only ones who would have had a shot at him.
Yes, for
As he
sure.
went 97 yards down the sideline, nothing but beautiful field synthetic turf in front of him.
He's made a lot of big plays.
None
in his,
bigger
in
than
his
that one.
career at Everett, but not any bigger than that one right there. So St. John's Prep is not going to get their 9th touchdown starting the second half. They had 8 during the season. They don't make it 9, but it's still a 6-point lead as the conversion went astray. I don't think there was a bad snap. I think Petrantonio was going to try and run to the corner and couldn't get there. He cut it back up inside and got hit and knocked down. But that defensive Everett came up huge on 2 plays inside the 5, knocked them back twice, and then no play bigger than the play that Frank Nuzzo just made on this interception.
Well, we presume those of you at home aren't going to get tired of seeing this one, so we're going to just show it again.
That's for sure.
And I don't think it'll be the last time it'll be shown in Everett.
No, they may see it a couple of times. They may name a street after Frank Nuzzo if this holds up. But the Prep came out, held it for almost 8 minutes, looked like they were going to get their 9th touchdown starting a second half this year. They had 8 coming into the ball game. Looked like they might make it 9.
Well, does that count? There was a touchdown scored on the drive.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good point. And bing, Frank Nuzzo steps in, and Frank Nuzzo got a little spark to that Everett team at halftime when he made the big hit in the backfield. It cost him 15 yards, but
here's
it got
the
him
replay,
excited.
John. Again, McCarthy. You see Nuzzo. He reads McCarthy all the way, and Zadis appears to be open, but Nuzzo is right there. Nobody to take down Frank Nuzzo as he goes all the way down the sidelines. St. John's Prep chasing him in vain. He's at the 30, he's at the 20, he's at the 10, he's at the 8, he's at the 6, he's in the end zone.
So 13-7, 13 unanswered points by the Crimson Tide, and they'll be kicking off.
We got to do the replay again. We do the time. Frank Nuzzo does the 97-yard dash in 11.18.
At the 15-yard line, it's dropped and picked up. And a nice run back gets it out to the 40-yard line again. There's a flag down, however. There's a flag at the 30-yard line. I'm really surprised we had all these run backs. Every run back you see a flag. We haven't seen any. Now we're going to see one on this one. So it's going to cost the Prep, I think, 10 yards. So they should be starting somewhere around their 20-yard line. And, Paul, all I got to say is after that Matt Antonelli run, old Mr. Momentum started wearing red and gold.
Well, this ball is going to be back at the 20-yard line. Well, the Prep offense is right back on the field with 3:01 to go. They held the ball 16 plays in the last drive, but the 16th ended in disaster for St. John's.
Well, Everett wouldn't mind seeing them run 8 more minutes off the clock. Everybody's moving. That looked like a fire drill. The school evacuated, but nobody snapped the ball. It's against Everett. So it'll be first and 5.
You see Abrazes on the right side and Justin Sullivan on the left side. Both made contact. That's Everett's second penalty of the game.
Everett would not mind having the Prep run 8 more minutes off the clock if they had the same result. First and 5 from the 25. The wing is to the near side, the pitch. And they're going to get a first down as they're banged forward.
Well, now you just got to be concerned about, John, the Everett defense being on the field this much, although they weren't on the field much in the first half. St. John's only held the ball for 6 minutes and 52 seconds, but they've been on the field this entire third quarter as Zadis goes up 5 yards to the 30 and picks up another St. John's first down. So the idea here is to come up with a stop and get the defense off the field.
2:45 and counting left to play in the third period, 13-7 Everett. High formation, the wing. The little misdirection play, stood up right at the line of scrimmage.
Antonelli brought down by number 36, George Payon, who's having a big game on defense for the Tide. No gain on the play.
So it'll be 2nd and 10.
2:22 and counting to go as we see the clock winding down in this third quarter in Brockton. Everett with the 13-7 lead thanks to Frank Nuzzo's 97-yard interception return for a touchdown.
So 2nd and 10, they send wide receivers right and left. They go double wing in the backfield for the first time. They almost left a wide receiver over here by himself. McCarthy keeping, pitching. They're not going to get very much. They might pick up a couple of yards on the pitch. Payon was on the play. Petrantonio was over there. Frank Nuzzo is a little slow getting up.
Well, interestingly, John, Everett coming into the game had 9 interceptions, all by 2 players, Justin Robinson and Ross Petrantonio. Take a look at this replay. Option right, pitch to McCarthy, but Frank Nuzzo wasn't fooled. He's going to bring him down with help from Petrantonio and Mazzeo. Ball back at the 33-yard line, 3rd and long.
3rd and a long, 7. The quick pitch. They had him, slowed him down. Zadis gets across the 35 to about the 37.
Not enough. I think we have someone else on Everett injured. Nope, Frank Nuzzo. Yes, someone is down in the field. Someone on the line. I'm not sure who it is. We'll see if we can get an angle in there.
4th down and a long, 3, almost 4 with 1:06 left to play. And what do you do if you're Jim O'Leary here, Paul
Here's
Howard?
Zardis, John, on the replay. Breaking a tackle. Sherko is going to be in on the tackle for Everett. We're not sure who the injured player is. We haven't been able to see. Well, I think if I'm Jim O'Leary, John, I punt the ball away. It's a one-touchdown game. You're still in the third quarter. You're deep. You're relatively deep in your own territory, and I'm going to punt the ball out of there.
Well, I would think you would do
And
that
play
too.
the field position
Because you're
game.
inside your 40-yard line and leave it up to your defense. He was going to leave it up to the defense before when he went on 4th and goal from the 7. So I would think you'd punt it away and leave it up to your defense again. We're going down the field, I think, to Paul Healy.
You may be wondering why St. John's Prep didn't attempt a field goal on 4th and goal from the 6th. I heard some St. John's fans, and they said that Adam Arsenal and the Everett linebackers are attacking so aggressively they were sure they could beat them with a play-action pass. Wrong answer. Back to John and Paul.
Well, they certainly didn't beat him with the quick out. They may have beat everybody, but the one guy they didn't beat was Frank Nuzzo, who beat them for 97 yards. A very, very huge play for Everett. And now the defense comes up big again for Everett as they're going to force a punt here.
We think.
We're assuming. And I don't trust Jim O'Leary if they go back in punt formation if he doesn't run a fake punt and try to get a first down. I don't know, but a 6-point game with still a period left, I don't think I want to give Everett this kind of field position down here. But they're working a long time on this player. I don't know who the player is down because we can't see him, but they've already lost Nascimento. And might we add that Richard Thomas has done an outstanding job filling in. And I don't think Richard Thomas thought he was going to have to play in the Super Bowl game at least until the 4th period. He was hoping maybe they'd get a lead and he'd get to play the 4th period. I don't think he thought he was going to be involved in this many plays with Nascimento going down one play into the football game. But Richard Thomas has really filled in and done an outstanding job for Everett in the secondary.
Well, John, whoever it is really banged up here, getting a lot of medical attention.